Greetings. Gregory Van Leer Jr. here, also known as GVL, also known as Mr. V, Mr. Van Leer when I'm working on campus for the school. I just want to touch on a couple of things, and hello to anybody that ends up watching this here. Kind of new with this Go Live thing for YouTube. Had a channel for a while, but I haven't really been making videos. So I just want to really kind of jump off here, talk about a couple of things and why we need critical thinking and analysis at this time. We should be well aware of the times that we're living in, but more importantly, we should make sure we educate ourselves on where we've always been. And if we understand where we've always been, as far as this country, the United States of America, is concerned, then there should be no surprise as to why things are going the way that they are. I do not see where we've seen the amount of violence that has taken place in the last few days, conveniently covered up to the murder, the hunt down and murder of the brother and sister at the Kroger, only to be sidelined by the massacre at the Jewish synagogue, the Tree of Life. It's interesting that that's the Tree of Life synagogue, but we can get into something like that another time on a more metaphysical, esoteric aspect, and the understanding of what the aspect, what the Tree of Life really means. But notice how quickly, first of all, it wasn't as if it was major reporting that went on when it came down to the murder of somebody that could have been my mom or dad at the Kroger. And that one received a little bit of media coverage. And it's surprising, especially with the fact that you had the shooter, the murderer, the white supremacist terrorist, the WST, like my man, Mr. Scott over at the Vice Show says, he terms that white supremacist terrorist. Well, what did he say to the man who confronted? The man who confronted him was ready. He was packing. He was going to take him on. And the guy said, well, I won't shoot if you won't shoot. Whites don't shoot each other. Right then and there, that's national news. And we're going to hear about something like that. When he openly shares and says that. And then the response, my man didn't even shoot, so it tells you where he is. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot going on. But my main reason for this here is really this. The reason for this video is this. We got election season, right? We're deep in it. Can't get away from the obnoxious political ads popping up on your television, popping up on your new YouTube videos, popping up everywhere, right? Social media. You can't escape it until after the 6th. Can't wait for the 7th. But here's my question to all melanated beings. And I'm just saying that because we've been given every term under the sun by other people. I'm just going to stick with melanated kings and queens or indigenous originals. How about that? So my question, especially for those of you who believe in this system that is corrupt, that has always been corrupt. It has never been on a foundation of truth. But yet, a great majority of us will lend our hard-earned money, our precious time, and our energy, which is a valuable resource. We give it to something that has done nothing but systematically, destroy us. And it doesn't matter if there is a semblance of a representation of some sort of a melanated being in one political office or another office, or even the highest office in the land. Nothing seems to get done that equates to liberation for us. Okay. Now, I'm not using any excuse for where I am or any excuse for where we are. all I'm going to do are state facts. Matter of fact, I really don't need to state facts, because if you've been awake, you've been alive, then you know what's going on. You know the truth. And don't bow down to people, or don't kowtow to those who would try to twist it, use some crazy other narrative that they cooked up, worked on, practiced, rehearsed in front of the mirror just so they can use it in front of you. That won't cut it. Okay. So it's not making an excuse. I'm happy with where I am, but that's just like in the material aspect. I know spiritually and in the long term, I got a long ways to go, but I'm working on it. But here's what I have to ask for melanated kings and queens, especially those of you who participate in the selection process. Are we at war? Are we at war? If so, then what do we do next? How do we prepare for war? If not, okay, tell us how we are not at war. It seems like everything that has been done to belittle us, to berate us, to kill us, to separate our families has all been acts of war, including the propaganda, which always is at the beginning, is at the forefront of discrediting your enemy, making your enemy looking less than human. Therefore, it's okay to go ahead and slaughter you in the masses. So are we at war or are we not? Also, too, do you think by participating again in this round of elections, does that equate to liberation for our people? Has voting ever liberated the masses? Has voting ever changed the hearts and minds of bigots and racists? Has voting stopped the race soldiers from spilling 20, 30, 50 bullets in a young brother or sister with impunity? Of course, you know that the answer is no. So with that being said, and after doing some critical thinking, some thoughtful analysis, taking inventory, if you know that voting doesn't change any of those things, then why are you still participating in the selection process? You're validating a system that hates you. Now, I understand what some would say, okay, we need to take care of the local aspects for the local governance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but yet we still end up with the same old cycle. It's just endless. It's an endless cycle. It keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. So again, what are our next steps? What do we need to do? I mean, do we just do what they told us on Sirius XM Urban View? Let's just do what Joe Madison says, right? Yeah, the brother that's smarter than everybody else, right? And all you got to do is vote. We ain't gonna tell you who to vote for, even though they're telling you who to vote for, right? And again, I don't participate in this sham of a process, the selection process. When you understand what it is, what it has done, you realize you can get a brother or sister in office, they're gonna turn them out real quick. They turn them out quick. So they're not the same person. They're not the same person as they went in. They campaigned. They haven't campaigned on the person that did campaign right in front of you changes after election day. Because now they're part of the system. If they try to do something, they're gonna block them. It'd be years before they can actually get something going. And by the time they get something going, it's too late. Okay. So we're stuck in this cycle. And people like Joe Madison ain't helping us. And I would try to stomach his show for the longest I can on my way to work and listen to him pontificate on anything, but I'm not hearing any wisdom. I'm not hearing no real knowledge. There's nothing that he is giving on air that's fruitful for the next several generations. His only aspect is just vote. Just be mad at the opposition and just go vote because you're mad at the opposition. That's it. And then if it's a brother or sister or somebody else, somebody calls in, he won't allow that person to really fully speak because it's his show. Yeah, I understand it's your show. You got control and all of that stuff. However, uh, it's your show, but you have to be also a good host. I mean, there are people who are listening that would like to hear the other side of the story, would like to hear more information. But as soon as you cut people off, now you cut people off to some information that probably could have helped them, probably could have helped them make their own decisions instead of just relying on you. I mean, who picked these people for Urban View? I mean, that's just a government operation anyway. Forget all that stuff. I mean, Urban View, you don't represent me. You don't. Okay. And you really don't represent the vast majority of people who truly think for themselves. Now, we know mass of Negroes is just lost, right? Straight up lost. It's a shame. And we know we can't save everybody. That's why we're left with these, right? It's great. Good thing we have the alternative media to do what is necessary to get the word out to the masses. I'll pick up on a few of these things because I often sit here and I think aloud to myself or have certain conversations with my father or a couple other individuals. I only have a small circle because when you're quote unquote woke, conscious, or whatever you want to call it, you really don't end up hanging with too many people because you can't really find that many like-minded people to just go ahead and campaign with on a regular basis. It's far and few between. It's far and few between. But what I'll say is this here. Again, I'm new to this. I'm not really trying to come on here to establish myself as some guru, some all-knowing brother. All I'm doing is thinking and analyzing and looking at history and taking a 30,000 foot view of everything. And it doesn't hurt to read too. Not just read the stories on social media, not just read Time Magazine, not just read Boule publications. But you need to look at some historical data. You need to look at some writings of the ancients. We need to actually dig deep to find out overall who the hell we are so people aren't telling us who we are. And then we just say, okay, we accept that because you in control of this land. So therefore, whatever you say goes. No more. No more. What I will mention is this. Like I said, I'm not here trying to be the ultimate YouTuber and get paid off of it. That's just, it never appealed to me to go out and do something like that. But I will key you in on this, is that I am dropping an album soon. Is it a woke album, conscious album, whatever, you can call it what you want. All I know is it's chock full of information for the liberation of our people. Okay. GVL Black Magic Badge coming out soon. You will get pieces of that here on YouTube. You may get it on the other SoundCloud, other places, and including the website I'm building. So that's just that alone. There'll be some other things down the line. I'll let you know about that. Certainly. Certainly. But overall, we really need to do some critical thinking and analysis. We need to figure this stuff out. And it's not hard. It's not hard. The hard thing or the tough choice for us to make as a people is separating from those who can't stand us. They can't stand us. They don't like us. They don't want to be around us. You want to call the police on us for mundane things? Okay. Bye. That's fine. It's a dirty little secret is this, people, melanated queens and kings, is that they've always needed us. They always needed us, but we never needed them. Think about that. They always needed us, but we never needed them. So why should we keep giving our energy to them? Why should we keep giving our expertise to them when we work for their companies? Just something to think on. It is time that we do our own thing and say to hell with the rest. Because that's the only thing we really haven't truly done yet as a people. Yes, we had our Black Wall Street. Yes, Rosewood. Yes, we had periods of time when we was rocking, our ancestors was taking care of business. But I'm talking about all out disengagement. Can we do that? Can we drop everything that they tried to instill in us and just do our own thing? I believe we can in about 1,000 years because the Negroes are too far gone. But really what it comes down to, it usually comes down to the precious handful of people that get it. The precious handful that get it based on where they are in life, where are they placed? So are they a teacher? Are they a judge? Okay. Do they happen to be in politics? What is their role in society? If they're woke, then they should use every bit of that wokeness, your third eye that's open, to just share. Share with the younger ones coming up. Hell, save the ones that's our age. Because we're the ones, it's our generation. The old heads, they time bought up. Okay, they time bought up. So people like Joe Madison, people like Al Sharpton, people like them, okay? And I'm not totally like dissing Sharpton and whatnot, but you know, it is what it is, okay? That old guard is about to, well, go off to greener pastures. It's up to us, and we got to get our group together. We need to figure this thing out on how we're going to do it, because we can't have 100 different directions that we're going that takes us away from the one thing that brings us together. A lot of us are content with that. A lot of us rather fight other causes than to come on home, come black home, for lack of better terms. I'm going to leave it at this for now. Feel free to comment, yay or nay, like or dislike, subscribe. If you want to subscribe, it's whatever. Going to be coming down with some stuff. I might put a track on here that's already mixed and mastered. Got to let you know that this album, man, is hot. It's not like anything that you've heard thus far, and it won't be like anything that you're going to hear in the future, because it's only for this dispensation of time. It is going to be timeless, but there's going to be nothing like it at this time. So with that said, it's GBL. Peace and blessings to you all, Melanetic kings and queens. Until next time, deuces.